Warm Wednesday, thunder chance Thursday, and back to winter for the weekend. We're tracking the trends and impacts tonight.
Roundup resolution, the big win and big payout tonight for those sickened by a popular weed killer developed here in St. Louis. A tragedy turning into a lasting tribute.
They saw Sam being just unapologetically who they were.
The community support helping to continue a beloved figure skating coach's legacy. 1 week after a beloved figure skating coach was shot and killed in a Starbucks drive-thru, a new tribute to honor the victim is underway. This is 5 on your side at 10. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. New tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend tells us how those who loved Sam Linehan hope to keep her legacy alive.
Friends say behind Sam Linehan's big smile was a magnetic glow that touched so many people.
Sam just really emphasized joy and inclusivity.
Sam was once a competitive U.S. figure skater and later became a coach for the Metro Edge Figure Skating Club's synchronized skating team, St. Louis Energy.
Sam especially would run around and be like, I love skating.
Club president Leslie Hinyard says everyone loved Sam, who had a passion for the young skaters on her 3 teams.
It's really been amazing to me to watch someone who was only 28 have the amount of insight that they had.
A caring young coach tragically taken from her loved ones and ice skating family. Police say last Tuesday, Linehan was shot and killed in a drive-thru at this St. Louis Starbucks.
I still don't think it's fully hit. It was not real.
Leslie Hinyard tears up just thinking about what happened to her daughter's coach.
It was really hard, and it was really hard trying to figure out how to tell our kids.
Linehan's heartbroken close friends and skating club's leadership united to do something special for Sam. Initially, the goal was to raise $25,000 to pay for Sam's funeral expenses, but after so many people opened their hearts and wallets, so far more than $50,000 have come in, paving the way for the scholarship.
The scholarship seemed like the good first step.
To celebrate the beloved daughter, coach, mentor, and friend gone too soon.
My hope is that we can raise enough money to make this an endowed scholarship so that no one forgets this beautiful person.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Details of the scholarship are still being organized. A celebration of life for Sam Linehan will be held on March 2nd at Sado on the Hill, where she worked.
Tonight, a man is dead after being shot by a SWAT officer in South St. Louis. It all started around 8:30 this morning on South Broadway near the River des Peres. Officers entered a home to serve a warrant for narcotics and weapons violations. Police say a 46-year-old man refused to come out and told officers he had a gun. After refusing repeated commands, the officer opened fire, killing the man. No officers were hurt. Right now, this is still an ongoing investigation.
Tonight, health officials on both sides of the river are warning people they may have been exposed to measles. An infected person traveled through St. Louis Lambert International Airport on Saturday, February 7th. The health department says they passed through Terminal 2 between 5 and 7 p.m. They went to baggage claim and then rode parking spot shuttle number 3. The other passengers on their domestic flight are being contacted directly. And tonight, the Illinois Department of Health confirms to 5 on your side the same person also went to Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Collinsville the next day. They live in the Metro East. People attending church between 8 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. that day were potentially exposed to measles. Anyone in those locations during that time should monitor for symptoms through February 28th.
Tonight, a years-long fight is over for people fighting cancer due to exposure to the weed killer Roundup.
It was developed here in St. Louis. 5 on your side's Laura Barteski is looking into the multi-billion-dollar settlement.
Mike and Kelly, Bayer, the company that bought Monsanto, has agreed to pay up to $7.25 billion over the next 2 decades to settle claims from people who say they've developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after using Roundup. In announcing the deal tonight, Bayer repeatedly referenced Monsanto, the company it acquired, while also stressing the settlement does not include any admission of liability. Attorneys Chris Seeger and Eric Collins say this multi-billion-dollar settlement with Bayer, which acquired Monsanto, the company long associated with Roundup, is a historic step toward justice for people across the country with a specific illness.
It's NHL, which includes, and I've got a short list of the types, but there are many subtypes of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, follicular lymphoma, and a few others. I don't have to go through the long list. But so if it's got the word lymphoma in it, it is likely to be something that would be considered in the settlement.
The attorneys say litigation over Roundup has stretched on for more than a decade, with more than 40,000 cases filed nationwide. Under the proposed settlement, up to $3 billion would be available during the first 5 years.
Compensation is to be determined through a transparent, objective set of criteria that considers type of exposure, age at diagnosis, and type of NHL. The awards will range up to $198,000.
Bayer's CEO Bill Anderson says they're not admitting fault or taking on any liability by making this deal, but saw it as the best option for closure.
This is a move to liberate the company from the litigation burden so our people can dedicate resources to cell and gene therapies, drought-resistant seed hybrids, better ways of taking care of everyday health.
Anderson says they stand by the EPA decision that the main chemical in Roundup is not carcinogenic.
A truth that scientists and regulators around the planet continue to uphold. That glyphosate is a safe and essential tool for farmers in the U.S. and around the world.
The settlement still needs to be approved by St. Louis Circuit Court, and the Supreme Court is also looking at this case. But attorneys say no matter what's decided, people in this settlement will still receive compensation.
An update tonight on the University City woman found dead at Olympic National Park in Washington State. The mother of 26-year-old Alicia Bulia tells 5 on Your Side autopsy results show her daughter died from hypothermia. Police do not suspect foul play. Park rangers found Bulia's body near a lake on February 6th. She was reported missing back in November after traveling from St. Louis to the national park for a vacation.
Just hours ago, a candlelight vigil was held for a Parkway Central senior killed in a car crash. The crash happened Sunday night on I-64 near 141. Police say a car 18-year-old Olivia Boombach was riding in lost control and hit another car. Her family tells 5 on Your Side she graduated high school early and had her post-grad future planned out.
She had her whole future ahead of her. She had graduated school early, was getting her general eds done at Merrimack, and was going to go on to nursing school. So, I mean, this is a really tragic event for a very young lady.
The 17-year-old driver is still in the hospital tonight. The driver of the other car was not hurt.
Tonight, North City neighbors are demanding answers as the city admits tornado recovery efforts have been slow. Dozens gathered at the O'Fallon Recreation Complex just hours ago to face the mayor. As 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon explains, they wanted to know when the millions of dollars in promised aid will actually reach their doorsteps.
9 months since the EF3 tornado tore through North City, for many the view has not changed.
You can't tell that anything has been done. You see a lot of tarps, you see a lot of devastation.
I recognize that the most important question that we get is where is the money? So I want to actually just start.
That was the primary concern Tuesday night at the O'Fallon Recreation Complex. City leaders revealed there is $13 million available for repairs, another $270 million for demolition. But the mayor admits actually getting those funds to contractors has been a hurdle.
Absolutely. I mean, we are building programs from scratch, and while we've got, we're really focused on getting the applications in.
The city is currently vetting contractors and says large-scale work won't truly ramp up until March. While 3,200 people have initiated applications, only about 100 homes are currently in the pipeline for contract work.
Just from growing up in the area and just seeing what it was and to where it is now, it is very heartbreaking to still see it look like that.
The mayor says the city is prioritizing the most vulnerable residents ahead of others.
Making sure that folks that are still living in damaged homes are getting those funds first.
The city will provide a contractor up to $50,000 for repairs. Additional work would have to be supplemented from insurance or the homeowner. Officials say even if damage exceeds that cap, you should still apply to see if the property can at least be made habitable. If a home can't be salvaged, the city will demolish it for free at the property owner's request. Brent Solomon, 5 on Your Side.
The deadline to apply for the private property assistance program is February 28th. If you are a renter, there is also help available, including one-time assistance equal to 1 month's rent. Savings that please the palate.
Everybody's tight on money with the economy the way it is. Everybody want to save a little bit.
The social media craze leading to big bucks or a big bust.
And it's always a gamble.
It's not for everybody.
From shorts to parkas, big changes in store for us over the next few days, including a few isolated thunderstorms and some snow. We're timing out the changes coming our way in 6 minutes.
As prices at the checkout remain stubbornly high, some St. Louis families are turning to some unique ways to save money.
Social media is making the liquidation market more popular than ever. In tonight's Making Ends Meet report, Michelle Lee shows us how shoppers are turning to bulk and chance for savings.
I get asked all the time, hey Jody, where do you get these big pallets? So we got a juicer.
If you're scrolling on social media, you've likely come across a growing number of accounts making mystery shopping so much fun.
Oh wow, we got some pink shoes.
Jody Lytle, or the Pallet Princess, is an OG. She's based in Michigan, but I came across her page when she found unclaimed packages from St. Louis.
The best thing to do is to find a local wholesaler and go pick out your own pallet. And it's always a gamble, but you can kind of, if you pick it out yourself, you can, it's easier to tell what you're getting.
Will Smith is doing exactly that. He's shopping pallet after pallet at 4 CHB liquidations in St. Peters. It's short for Crazy Happy Buys.
I started off as a customer just trying to save some money and no business plan. Like I had my eye on this one.
He's looking for hot deals from big box stores that unleash their returns or overstock. It's now become his job. He runs his own discount store.
I think it helps out a lot of people because right now everybody's tight on money with the economy the way it is. Everybody want to save a little bit, and everybody loves a deal.
So this would be like a general merchandise, smaller item type of pallet.
Yeah. So you would buy this whole thing, right?
You would buy the whole thing, and it would be for someone that wants a lot of items. Like say they want shelf filler, or they have like some bins.
Or flea market.
Or a flea market person.
Bob and Kelly LaRosa started this business as a side hustle, leaving corporate life behind.
Some loads are good for us, and some loads are not good.
And then when you get a not good load, what do you do?
Grind.
We gotta sell
work through it.
Work through it.
Even
if
it's
we
just work.
Even if we sell through that truck and don't make money, there's truckloads that we don't make money.
Yeah.
We have to do the work for negative, but it averages out, law of averages.
Most of their customers are resellers, though they do have a small public store.
I think our biggest sellers are everyday items that people use in their homes. It's not electronics, it's not tools, it's everyday items that everybody has.
What's the best surprise that you ever had?
I had an iPhone. I found an iPhone before.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the biggest disappointment you had?
Mayonnaise.
Mayo or not, the liquidation business is evolving and gaining interest.
Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, it says energetic print plate. Oh, this is so not exciting. Boo.
Even unboxing these mysteries online is a job itself. But for most of us, liquidation shopping is best served with eyes wide open.
It's not for everybody. Everybody don't understand the ins and outs of it, but there are pros and cons of it. But if you like deals and want to save money, this is the way to go.
In St. Peters, Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
You can also buy mystery boxes called coffin boxes. Those are not quite as big as a pallet. Find out what Michelle found in the one she bought tomorrow morning on Today in St. Louis.
Lung cancer without smoking. Doctors say it's happening more often, especially in women. Tomorrow night, we introduce you to a local survivor whose cancer was found by accident and what doctors say may be behind a growing number of cases like hers.
That's a common misconception that lung cancer only happens to people who've smoked, but really anyone with lungs can get lung cancer.
The new face of lung cancer and the hidden risk doctors want you to know about. Tomorrow night at 10, only on 5 on your side.
Well, a new episode of Outside the Forecast has dropped on our free streaming app. This week, weather impact meteorologist Lance Blocker is helping you get your yard ready for spring.
I'm actually really excited about this because I did a lot of research into what to do for your lawn and what to do for your garden as we move through. Nobody's planting anything right now, but there are some steps that we can take to prepare ourselves for a great upcoming season.
You can watch on demand. Download our app by scanning the QR code right on your screen. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here with the weather impact forecast. He will be one who will be out in his yard doing all kinds of work.
He's going to build a
Another retaining wall.
Well, you know, I've been out in the yard the last couple of days. The yard waste folks are just all excited every Friday. And, you know, tomorrow we're going to be in the 70s, still warm on Thursday, and we do have that chance for rain. By the way, you can start those seeds inside now. Get them ready to go here because we're about a month and a half away from being able to get things into the garden. But look at the weekend ahead. Temperatures go way down, and yes, you're not mistaken, that is a snowflake on Saturday. I think we're going to see some snow showers. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Here's your 10-day forecast here as we kind of take a look at what we're dealing with there. And again, going into the middle of next week, we will end up seeing the bottom line here that we will end up with temperatures going back into the 50s. So let's dive right into what we have coming up on Thursday. This is our best chance, and it's not a very big one, honestly, but it's our best chance for getting a thunderstorm. And it's mainly east of St. Louis. The humidity has to run back up ahead of this system. That is still a very big question of whether the ingredients are even going to be remotely close. We do think there's going to be at least a few scattered showers. 11 to 6 would be the time frame on that. Take a look at what our futurecast is showing. It is showing some development of scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder here off to the north and northeast of St. Louis. What we're seeing here, though, during the morning, early afternoon hours should not at all have the ingredients for severe weather. But then the drier air starts pushing in. That acts like a mini cold front, but you notice there's only a couple of isolated spot showers or cells there. They look very unimpressive at this point. Not that it won't happen, but the odds don't favor that. Tomorrow, we're flirting with a record high. Not as much on Thursday, but still around 70 or so. And then we cool off after that. And then we go to Saturday, the 21st. It is colder. We have snow showers. You'll need to get the winter coat and gloves back out. No accumulation expected, though, as we head into Saturday afternoon, outside of maybe a dusting on some of the grassy areas. 56 was our high during the day. We have subsequently slid up to 58 degrees, and the winds are beginning to howl out there tonight. It's a south wind at 24 miles per hour. It is a little gusty and will stay that way through the overnight hours. And of course, that means temperatures really aren't going down. And we're set up to get a warm start out the door tomorrow before we get back to our February reality as we head towards the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, they stormed the court in Rhode Island, and that's not good for SLU. Brady Tkachuk has become a star at the Olympics. And what is Victor Scott's #1 ambition this season? We'll be right back.
And coming up at 10:35 on Olympic Late Night, the final two runs in the two-man bobsled. Then at 11:15, athletes sprint to the finish in the men's relay final.
Conference road games are nasty in college basketball, and the Billiken Doubters might be gloating after this game. After all, Rhode Island entered the game with just a 5-7 conference record. But I want to ask a question to all of you SLU fans. If I told you before the season you would be 24-2, would you have taken it? I think so. Now, to beat the Bills, you need somebody to shoot out of his mind, and that's what Jonah Hinton did. 9 3-pointers, 29 points on the night. SLU was down 8 with under 2 minutes to play. Robbie Avila drains a 3. He had 21 points. Now, with 1:15 to play, Avila misses the 3. Quentin Jones with a putback. The lead is 3. And later, Avila will cut it to 1 with 29 seconds to play. However, SLU missed 2 3-pointers with a chance to tie it. Rhode Island wins it 81-76, and yes, they stormed the court.
They played harder. They were tougher. They were, executed better, and they played more connected than we did for the entire 40.
Here's the news from spring training for the Cardinals. Number 1, Matthew Libator will get the opening day start Saturday. Number 2, potential closer Riley O'Brien is dealing with a calf issue. And number 3, infielders Jose Fermin and Thomas Saggese are getting reps in the outfield. Victor Scott II will likely get the first crack in center. Defensively, he was a Gold Glove finalist, and that is not the problem. It's his offense. He has to get on base more to utilize that great speed. He hit .216 with an on-base percentage of .305 and an OPS of .601. He's only 25, and last year was his first real chance. His mindset now?
Last year, I had a good process, but when the game adjusts, you got to adjust back. So that was my counter punch wasn't where I wanted it to be. So that's the next thing for me is just making sure I have a good counter to what these guys are doing.
St. Louis City SC is looking to turn things around. They've had back-to-back disappointing seasons. The team has a bunch of new faces, including head coach Johan de May. The 35-year-old has been implementing new strategies and tactics to right this ship. Goalkeeper Roman Berkey believes these tactics are helping, and he wants his team to be as mentally tough as possible.
But the most important thing is how we are going to be on the field. Are we going to be mentally ready to fight, to work more than the opponent, and obviously want to win more than them? And that's, I think, the most important thing on the weekend.
And they open Saturday at home against Charlotte.
Hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's already here. Thanks, Frank.
Well, the Olympic curling craze hits the St. Louis County Police Department. The officers training for a sweet sweep. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, marking the beginning of the 40-day Lenten season ahead of Easter. Some Christians will observe by receiving the sign of the cross in ashes. The mark on their forehead signifies repentance and renewal. Several area churches are offering drive-through ashes and prayers tomorrow. For a full list, text the word ASH to 314-425-5355 and we'll send the link to your phone. The Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina is exciting, aspiring athletes everywhere.
Yeah, that
Here at home too.
Yeah, that includes members of the St. Louis County Police Department who came up with their own sport, donut curling. I don't think the sweeping is helping.
No.
As you can see, they improvise with a Swifter as their broom and a donut for the curling stone. The department posted this video tonight saying officers have been training for this their entire career. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. A reminder that we're always streaming on your phone and smart TV.
And be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4:30 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.